We're going to begin in the Northwest at a storied program in Washington. Garfield High School is pretty well known in Seattle. It prides itself on its strong academics, but there have been a number of college and pro athletes to emerge from the school as well. Jerron Brooks grew up in Southern California, but his family moved to Seattle just before he began high school. He quickly learned about Garfield High, and he was excited to transfer there as a sophomore.
It's great. I love it. From coming over from Seattle Prep, just a great tradition here at Garfield, and just the atmosphere is way different. Crazy school spirit.
The school academics are great for sports-wise. They have huge fan base, like tons of people come for the games, and it's a great school. It has a good legacy. There's a lot of pro players that have came out of here.
Perhaps the most well-known athlete to come out of Garfield is Brandon Roy, who was a first-team All-American at the University of Washington and a three-time NBA All-Star with the Portland Trail Blazers. Roy is now back at Garfield as the head basketball coach, and he's happy to have a talent like Brooks playing for him this season.
Of course I wanted to come back to Garfield. It was where I played, but he was the biggest reason that made it an easy choice to come back home, because, you know, coaching is really tough. You need players. You need guys that can go out there and make plays. And coming to Garfield, having Jerron here, we need him to not only make plays, but we need him to be our leader. And it's something that, you know, I'll challenge him every day to do, because it's what he's going to need at the next level. So my goal isn't just to try to get everything out of him right now, is to try to prepare him going forward in the future. Exactly. Well, I first seen him his freshman year at Prep, and I was like, wow, this kid is really good. And, you know, he wasn't a local kid, so I didn't know where he came from. And then when he transferred to Garfield, I've always have been a part of, you know, Garfield's basketball and just working out with guys in the summertime. And when I seen Jerron, you know, I thought it was really cool to see a kid, you know, grow as a player.
I'm really happy to play for him. I've been around him a lot the last 3 years. He's taught me a lot of stuff, teach me a lot more to add to my game, and I'm just really happy to play for him.
Oh, I'm really excited. You know, anything that he can pick up from Brandon would be great. Like, there's, you know, what kid doesn't want to have a ex-pro player as his coach, teaching him the things he'll need for later on.
Jerron didn't always think basketball would be his ticket to college, though. As recently as 4 years ago, he looked like he could make a splash in baseball.
When I first seen him play basketball, everybody was like, man, you haven't seen his fastball, or like, you haven't seen him play baseball.
It was always what my mind was aimed towards. I only played baseball since I was a little kid, and then my brother talked me into playing basketball, so I wasn't that good and uncoordinated. I always fell a lot, but I was a lot bigger than everyone, so it was easy. Last year, I just thought, just go ahead, stick with basketball, just focus on that.
Jerron's brother, Javante, played college basketball at Dartmouth. He's been a mentor and training partner for his younger brother over the years. He helped Jerron along as he shifted his focus from baseball to basketball. And he's proud to see how his younger brother's developed on and off the court.
It's awesome. I mean, it's been really cool to see him grow as a player and see, I know when he was just starting out, a big, gumpy kid and growing into a man, honestly, and seeing all this attention he's got as of recent. And seeing the hard work he's put in, it's cool to see it pay off for him. I know how hard he works.
Now 6 feet 8 inches tall and 215 pounds, Jerron is a top 100 prospect. He has a big frame that allows him to dominate in the post, but he also continues to expand his game away from the basket.
I'd say the player who reminds me of the most is LaMarcus Aldridge. He kind of has an old school game, old school big man game, where he's really good in the post, but he can also step out to 12, 15 feet, and his mid-range game is really good. And some of the best mid-range games I've seen at the high school level. Honestly, I think the mid-range game is a lost art, and he's kind of brought it back. I'd probably call myself a versatile big man, just being able to play the stretch four, stretch the floor out, stretch out to the three if needed. I like to shoot a lot, mid-range. I'm starting to work on my three a lot more and just be a mismatch.
I wouldn't limit Jerron. You know, I think he's a guy that I'm going to use to where we're gonna post him up, we're gonna let him handle the ball. You know, I think with his size, he has the ability to take advantage of bigger matchups. And if you put a small guy on him, then we'll put him in the post. He's good in the pick and roll. You know, he can shoot the three. So as he gets older, maybe college, they'll call him a stretch four. But you know, the stretch fours now are like Draymond Greens. I mean, they're really small fours playing power forward. So I would say that's the mode he's gonna go into. We call them point forwards. They can pass it. You know, they can set the offense for you. So he does a number of things, and then defensively, you know, he competes.
When you consider how much he's improved over the last few years, Jerron Brooks could well be on his way to adding his name to Garfield's storied athletic tradition.
He's just a great kid. I mean, we work out, we hoop, and I mean, sometimes you could just push him and you have to back off a little bit because he'll go as far as, you know, to exhausting himself. But great dude. He's a wonderful guy in the community. I think he's somebody that Garfield's going to always be proud of and know that going forward he'll represent the school in a great way.